which that was part of the curses as well, which I did a lesson on that before. Okay, you can watch that. It says when a trader named John Oldham was killed and his trading ship looted by natives suspected to be the Pequot, retaliation raids by settlers and their native allies ensured the Pequot responded in kind, erupting into the Pequot War. The massacre. The Connecticut town raised a militia commanded by Captain John Mason, consisting of 90 men plus 70 Mohegan under Shuckums, Ucas, and Weequahish. 20 more men under Captain John Underhill joined him at Fort Saybrook. The Pequot Shuckum Sescus meanwhile gathered a few hundred warriors and set out to make other raids on Hartford, Connecticut. At the same time, Captain Mason recruited more than 200 Narragansett and Nyatic warriors to join his attack force. On the night, and they did this at night, on the night of May 26, 1637, the forces of English and Native Americans attackers arrived outside the peninsula surrounding Pequot village near Mystique River, which had only two entrance exits. The English attempted to attack the villagers by surprise, yet met with stiff Pequot resistance. Mason gave the order to set the village on fire and block off the exits. The Pequots were trapped inside. Those who tried climbing over the palisade were shot. Anyone who succeeded in getting over was killed by the Narragansett forces. The aftermath. Estimated of death Pequot ranged from 400 to 700. Mostly women and children and old men, as the warriors were out on a raiding party. On top of their being weakened from disease, the massacre particularly broke the Pequots, who fled and were hunted down. Sescus and many of his followers were surrounded in a swamp near the Maccabeesic Valley called Sasqua. In the following battles, Sescus and about 80 others managed to escape. Nearly 180 warriors were killed, wounded, or captured. Sescus was eventually killed by the Mohawk, who set his scalp to the English as a symbol of friendship. The war ended with the signing of Treaty of Hartford on September 21, 1638. The English sold captive. The English, for these niggas out here that like to say, oh, the Native Americans never went on slave ships, the English sold captive Pequots as slaves or servants and took their lands. The Pequots were so diminished that they ceased to be a tribe in most sense. The treaty even mandated that the remaining Pequots were to be absorbed into the Mohegan and Narragansett tribe, nor were they even allowed to refer to themselves as Pequots. Okay? So the so-called white man, that's how evil he was. Okay? When he was he destroyed women, children, elderly. Okay? Alright? And then the people that survived or whatever, that wasn't in that village that got destroyed in the Mystique massacre, alright, they was basically forced to denounce that they are even of the tribe of Pequot. And if you do even more history, do some more research, that those Pequots were shipped on slave ships to the West Indies to serve slavery in the fields. Let me get there real quick. Okay? Because not just the Negroes went in the slavery, alright, or on slave ships. You had other tribes as well. Deuteronomy 28:68. Okay? Which, Lord's will, I'll do another account of a massacre that proves that they were sending natives on slave ships. or another article, whatnot. This is Deuteronomy 28:68. It says, "The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships." Now that Egypt is talking about bondage. Okay, so it says that they should go into bondage again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, so-called white man, okay, and these other European white people, and even the other nations, for bondmen, slave men, and bondwomen, slave woman, and no man shall buy you, meaning redeem you from that slavery. Okay? No. So I mean, that should be pretty clear. That's just one account, you know, of the brutality of the so-called white man, you know. And we went into the history of, you know, the book, History of the American Indians by James Adair. It proved that, you know, Gad is the North American Indians, okay, and that, you know, this is just one of Lord's will many videos to come showing the massacres of the actions of these so-called Puritans and Pilgrims and colonists and Christians amongst these so-called white people, what they did to the Native Americans, okay, and future videos to come. So with that, I want to say all praises to Yahweh Shemal Shai, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Yahweh Shemal Shai, Barakathum to the Akim out there pushing the truth. I want to say death to Esau, okay, death to you simple ass niggas that don't want to accept the Latinos and Native Americans as Israelites. Death to you Latinos and Native Americans that don't want to accept the so-called Negroes as your brethren, okay, and death to you heathens, man. All right, because the Lord gonna allow us to get you too, okay, because you had parts in this too. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom. I'm the brother Tazawamya saying Shalom.